California restaurant that loves Popeye's chicken so much is using it in one of his.
Chef Williamson here with Hospitality Interventions. Well, I will say, do you think that this happens on a regular basis? The answer is yes. But I will say this. When we get purveyors delivering our items to us, sometimes we as chefs make a mistake and don't order enough, or that the purveyor ran out of that item, so therefore we don't have enough. What we generally will do is in emergency situations, we will go to the grocery markets and go pick up raw items typically, and we'll bring them back and cook them. Oftentimes, there may be a dessert that's thrown in there because that's an item that takes a long time to cook. And so people have been known to buy desserts outside. But why don't we do it often? I'll tell you why. It's because the cost isn't there. If to give you an idea, you go and buy a 12-pack of Coca-Cola in the store, it's probably going to cost you upwards of about 50 cents to 75 cents a can. I'm going to pay 25 cents a can if I get it from my purveyor. So that's why I look at the fact that this is at a cost. I can't carry that over into the customer, or else the dish will be too expensive and nobody's going to buy it. The next one is laziness. Cooking chicken is pretty easy in the back of the house for a chef. The problem that you generally have is you don't have enough room. You're talking about a breading station, a deep fryer, hooding. Maybe you don't have the money, but more than likely it's probably the room. Going to another restaurant and buying their cooked item and bringing it back is what we would call probably a sin in the restaurant business. If you go and buy, like I said, a raw item, that's completely different. But to buy a cooked item, you can cook that yourself. And if you like Popeyes so much in your recipe, that just means you wanted a little spice. Then add some spices to your seasoning and make it your own. But the last one that probably generates the most out of this entire thing is litigations. If Popeyes knew that they were sending chicken to this restaurant, and that the restaurant customers knew that the chicken was coming from Popeyes, and there was a problem within the delivery of that food that made somebody sick, who do you think the customer is going to go after? The small itty-bitty restaurant or the large corporation? Exactly. Because Popeyes is going to look at this and say, well, how was it transported? Was it kept well? Was it kept in the heat oven too long? We have standards here at Popeyes. We don't allow that to occur that way. And these are all things that are going to get asked. So ultimately, I don't see Popeyes agreeing to this, and I would imagine that they probably have already tried to stop this from going on, because this damages their image, and more importantly, it damages you as a restaurant, because you got to try harder to cook your own stuff. With that, thank you very much for visiting this video. More to come. Subscribe below.